To begin the setup for a barbell back squat, you want the bar to sit on the upper back and traps or slightly lower on the rear shoulders. You want your hands gripped evenly just outside the shoulders, with your feet just shoulder width apart and your toes slightly pointed outward. When you begin, you want to brace the core, chest up, and lifting the bar off the rack and taking 2 to 3 steps backwards. During the descent phase, your hips should push back, bending the knees at the same time. Keeping your chest up and eyes forward, the weight should be distributed through the midfoot and heels. Knees should track in line with the toes, and thighs should be parallel to the floor or slightly below while maintaining control. During the ascent phase, you want to drive through the heels and the midfoot, extending the hips and knees at the same time. Keeping your chest up and forward with a neutral back, you want to focus on keeping your knees pushed outward and finishing tall, standing without hyperextending the lower back. Some common errors that you see while back squatting include knee valgus, where the knees collapse in, looking too far up or too far down while squatting, heels lifting off the floor, not reaching proper depth, rounding of the lower back, also known as a butt wink, uneven weight distribution while squatting down and coming back up, and the chest falling too far forward. Here's an example of knee valgus in an athlete. This athlete, when they go down, brings their knees in. A great corrective cue is to tell them, push your knees out and focusing on keeping them in line with your toes. This is an example of an athlete whose heels lift off the floor while squatting. A great cue for this is to have your athlete sit back into their heels. A corrective tool that can be used for an athlete who struggles with the heel lift is also putting a small 2.5-pound plate under their heels while squatting. This is an example of an athlete with a rounded lower back and excessive forward lean. A great cue for this is to brace the core and keeping the chest up or having a proud chest. This is an example of an athlete not reaching proper depth. A great corrective cue for this is sit the hips back like sitting into a chair. Support exercises for the back squat include good mornings, which support strengthening the posterior chain, which helps stabilize the spine during heavy back squats. Others include goblet squat, which teaches squat depth, posture, and knee position. The leg press allows for focus on the quads, hamstrings, and glutes without loading the back and the spine. Glute bridges or hip thrusts improve glute activation and hip extension power. Deep squat holds are great for the hips and ankles while in the descent phase of the back squat. This allows for greater mobility. Ankle rocks help with the ankle dorsiflexion and aid in keeping the heels on the ground while in the descent phase of the squat. When performing the one spotter technique, you will stand directly behind the squatter. Your hands will go under the armpits by the rib cage. You will not make contact with the lifter unless needed. You will follow through the lifting motion with the squatter. You will assist upward only if the lifter falls or stalls during the ascent phase. You will help the lifter guide the bar back into the rack to finish the squat.